Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
An interesting email from Randy Rankin helping us understand better oil production dynamics. Joe, just catching up on the Garage Logic podcast, listening to the March 9 episode. You mentioned oil production in the U.S. has increased in recent years and is predicted to increase in 2023. I thought the increase surely could be more dramatic than the predicted increase of 2023, so I thought I'd ask someone literally in the field, my brother. Gabe works as a foreman manager for a company whose sole purpose is to drill oil in the Dakotas. I asked if all the oil wells have been capped during the pandemic have been reopened. He assured me they are. Everything drilled is currently producing, he said, and he informed me to get new product, that is, more barrels per day, they need to drill new wells. He stated two factors hindering increased production. They can't find labor to stand up new drill rigs, and material is in short supply. There you have it.
Wow, so it's a labor issue too. Wow.
I said labor.
Yeah,
labor issue and material issue.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, those jobs pay well.
Very well. So where did those people go?
Well, they all probably relocated.
Well,
right?
but did they land on their feet with higher paying jobs than they were making in the Bakken field?
You have to remember they had to relocate, and living conditions weren't awesome.
Right.
I mean, trailers and.
You want to play what Dan Crenshaw has to say about this?
Oh, go ahead, Johnny. While I pull that
I do
up.
know one fellow who went from Bakken to Texas
Okay.
to work. Same job.
Lukenbach?
I don't think so.
All right.
Is Rookie here today?
Nope. Zippity doo-dah.
Yeah.
Do I? Chris?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready, or can I say something?
Go ahead.
Well, all these construction guys, they find a home in construction elsewhere. Could be road construction or,
Yeah.
anything else. So, they find jobs.
The Crenshaw video is ready. Do you want all 4 minutes of it? Or do
I'll
you want
determine that.
Okay.
I might say that's enough.
Okay.
This is the pirate. This is the eye patch guy, Dan Crenshaw from Texas, Republican congressman.
Yes.
Here we go.
Boy, we're smooth today.
Yep.
Wow.
Madam Speaker, I rise to oppose the previous question so we can immediately consider the American Energy Independence from Russia Act led by my friend and the Republican leader of the Energy and Commerce Committee, Kathy McMorris Rogers. This week, our American president, asked Venezuela and Saudi Arabia to increase oil production, asked them to boost their output so that American consumers wouldn't see a spike in gas prices. Seems like a noble cause at first glance, but I couldn't help to think myself, what a strange thing to ask. Because surely he knows that we can also boost domestic production right here at home. Surely he knows that domestic production supports American jobs. And surely he knows that domestic production is cleaner by far than foreign production. Far better for the environment than Venezuelan oil, unless that socialist dictator suddenly became a devout green energy disciple without any of us knowing it. Surely President Biden knows that energy demand doesn't just disappear because you tell middle-class Americans to go buy a Tesla. Surely he knows all of this, right? The answer is, of course, yes. He does know that. The entire Democrat Party knows this. It is impossible not to know these things because these things are cold, hard facts. They are indisputable. And those facts are simple and worth repeating. Number one, the world will demand at least 50% more energy in the next 50 years. That's a fact. Number two, the energy demanded will be reliable energy, electricity that turns on when you want it, heat that keeps you alive in the winter, and air conditioning that keeps you cool in the summer. Fact number three, solar and wind cannot and will not ever provide this reliable energy, no matter how often you worship and pray to the deities of wind turbines and solar panels, proudly made, of course, by the communist genocidal country of China. Fact number four, American production of oil and gas is far cleaner than any other country except maybe Canada. So these are indisputable facts. So where does that leave us? For anyone wise in the ways of common sense, it leads to one conclusion. It is in the American interest to pursue absolute American energy dominance. If you don't believe me, let's outline the alternative. Let's imagine we go the way of Germany and invest $500 billion in building out unreliable wind and solar production, only to watch our energy prices rise faster than anywhere else, and yet still be forced to turn on coal plants and import Russian gas because your green energy just doesn't work the way you wanted it to. The rest of Europe wasn't all that different. They increased their reliance on Russian gas from 10% to over 40% now. And I cannot help but notice that the Democrat Party seems intent on pursuing this very path, canceling leases and pipelines, increasing regulations, chastising our industry. And if no one else here noticed, someone in Russia certainly did. You fast forward to 2022, and Putin, with his newfound leverage over European energy supply, realizes it may just be the right time to exercise his imperialistic ambitions and retake the old Soviet territory of Ukraine, leaving thousands of innocents dead and a Western world order completely upended. And we're all left thinking the same thought. Wouldn't it be better if it was America supplying Europe its energy? Wouldn't it be better if Europe wasn't held hostage to the whims of a dictator? Wouldn't it be better if we didn't have to wonder where the extra oil would come from after we rightfully banned Russian imports? Well, most of us are thinking that. Of course, unfortunately, those in the majority, those in power, are not. And I pray that you start. We should defeat the previous question, pass the American Energy Independence from Russia Act, and pursue true American energy dominance. I yield.
I think we've learned something since Putin invaded Ukraine, that freedom is pretty much based on fuel, right?
Yeah.
Freedom is pretty much based on the availability of affordable, reliable fuel.
Yeah. Everything
And-
we do is fuel-based.
Right. Everything we do. And to bring about the mystery, which is to make this country not the country we know, all you got to do is take away our fuel. Then you've got it. You've accomplished your mission. We become wards of the state. We have lost our freedom to move around, to travel to jobs that will no longer exist because there's no fuel. And it's a crying shame that we're now led by people who are blind to this.
I was just going to say, and sadly, half the country is okay
Or-
with with fossil fuel production going down.
You said we're led by people who are blind to this. And my question to you is, or are they?
Yeah, I'm with Kenny.
Right. Well, that takes them out of the Hanlon's razor category.
Yeah.
It places them in the category of
Evil.
willful intent to destroy what was the world's greatest country.
Malice.
Malice aforethought.
Yep.
Now, I do have a bright ray of hope regarding this.
Okay.
And we'll return to what the White House has done most recently to explain this to the American people. You have those ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Senator Joe Manchin may have put the kibosh on Sarah Bloom Raskin's appointment or nomination to a top regulatory position at the Federal Reserve. He said he's unable to support her. She is a dedicated enemy of fossil fuel. She would be heading banking regulations. And
boy.
if we cross our fingers and the creek don't rise, she won't get the gig. Manchin said, I have carefully reviewed Sarah Bloom Raskin's qualifications and previous public statements. Her previous public statements have failed to satisfactorily address my concerns about the critical importance of financing and all of the above energy policy to meet our nation's critical energy needs. He said. She has said, I would do everything in my power to not finance fossil fuel exploration. Mm-hmm. Well, she doesn't like this country. We got to quit putting people in positions of power when they have expressed their displeasure with this country. And she would be among them, and I think some cooler heads are prevailing there and realizing, but how close are we to the tipping point of doom? Because it took Manchin, a Democrat, to back off her nomination. 2 years from now, her equivalent will be in, because there might not be a Manchin. And the Democratic Party has sold its soul to the Green New Theology. And it has nothing to do with the climate.
Nothing.
That's what you must keep remembering. It has nothing to do with the climate.
Although that's how they sell it.
Well, they're selling it that way, and people are buying it. But it's a misnomer.
But just imagine.
Don't play it. Please don't play it. Chris.
I got one even better coming
Chris.
up.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we got one.
You guys, this is bringing me down.
I know what. Give it to him now.
Don't
then
bring me down.
Then he'll have the whole show to get over it.
Don't bring me down.
Are we playing that game again?
Oh, wait. Okay. Here we go. Here's your Vice President of the United States.
So I will say what I know we all say, and I will say over and over again.
That's 3 says.
The United States stands firmly with the Ukrainian people in defense of the NATO alliance.
A little problem there, Kamala. Ukraine is not a part of NATO.
Oh, that is an issue. Yeah. There is, by the way, a guy who I follow, and every time Kamala speaks, you guys remember the scene from Naked Gun, where everybody slaps their forehead? Mm-hmm. It follows with that sequence of people slapping their forehead. It's
well, in keeping with this ding-dong school administration presided over by Miss Francis, the Biden is... I'm so embarrassed to report this. I'm not reporting it. News outlets are reporting it. The Biden administration has tapped teenage TikTok influencers to coordinate messaging on Russia's invasion of Ukraine and blame Vladimir Putin for rising gas prices, according to a recording of a call between White House officials and the social media stars. Days later, Ellie Zeiler, an 18-year-old with more than 10 million followers on TikTok, posted a video in which she aimed to answer the question, why is gas so expensive?
Why is gas so expensive, and why is the United States inflation rate at a 4-time decade high? I had the opportunity to ask the White House why gas down the street is $7, and here's what they said. The obvious reason: we are getting out of a 2-year pandemic. When use goes up, price goes up. But the call was predominantly about Ukraine and Russia, so how does that relate? Russia is one of the top 3 producers of oil, and it is actually their #1 revenue source. Now, with Putin starting this horrific fight between Ukraine and Russia, nobody wants to work with him and do international trade. So, with people being scared of war and limited resources, prices are bound to go up as well. For the people who can't pay $7 for a gallon of gas, there is an app called Gas Buddy that shows you the cheapest gas near you, as well as a link in my bio to donate to the misplaced refugees of Ukraine.
Let me see if I got this straight.
Check it on out, bruh.
Because whoever this is apparently has 10 million followers.
Her name is Ellie Zeiler.
And what is she principally known for on TikTok?
That is a great question.
I mean, could you look her up? Does she do music, or how has she garnered 10 million fans? Does she take her clothes off?
No, she's a very attractive young lady. I would guess she's probably in her early to mid 20s.
But why? Who are the? What does she offer 10 million people?
Let's see.
How to clean a pan after you roast a beef?
Here we go. This one is just called
Nothing that good.
Saturday Morning Vibes.
Okay. I want to hear it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Don't worry about the words.
It's her making her bed to a song by the name by Drake.
Better be careful there.
And we're seeing her while we hear Drake. She's
making her bed and organizing her room.
Okay.
Let's. I can't believe me, of all people, is going to rush to the defense of millennials. But I know a few, and they're not as dumb as we think they are.
No, of course not.
That's not the issue with
No.
this discussion.
It is actually, because I think there's enough millennials, at least the few that I know, that would look at that young lady's little TikTok posting and roll their eyes and tell her, you need to shut up, and go about their lives and not buy into that crap.
Well, how
That's
about
all
the
I
fact
wanted
that
to
she's
say.
lying?
Well, yeah.
But you know what?
Rising gas prices are not due to Putin's invasion of Ukraine. They were rising before that.
I'm going
Right.
to stand behind Kenny with this. Does she
You're
even...
both fired.
No, listen.
No, Joe,
Will you three
we're not
shut
fired.
up?
You're fired.
Does she even realize that she's not telling the truth is my question.
No.
Because I don't think she's smart enough to know that.
All right, Kenny, let me rephrase it. The White House, in desperation,
Sorry for saying shut up, by the way.
is so trying to dumb down what's taking place that they enlist a TikTok influencer.
Oh, yeah.
You with me so far?
This is corruption at the highest level.
Okay, so
Joe.
I don't
This
know
is
where you
lying.
and I are disagreeing.
I'm thinking, my thought was that you're worried that the millennials and the people that follow her are going to buy this hook, line, and sinker. And I'm saying I think that they're smarter than that.
Okay, well, I all I can do is root for you to be right.
I'm just
Johnny.
amazed that you guys
Yeah.
are surprised and horrified that politicians would have anything to do with lying.
Yeah, that's true.
Shocked. I'm shocked, I say.
It's got to be a first, John.
But John,
Yes,
to play devil's
Chris.
advocate on what
She's
you just
18,
said.
by the way, Chris.
Oh, she is? Okay. She looks
How old
older
is she,
than that.
John?
18.
18. I can't even vote yet, and she's telling us how.
But John, you would even have to admit, if this was a lie from the right side of the politics, it would have been banned from social media.
Oh, of course. We all know that. Are we playing what ifs now?
No, but I'm just saying.
I don't think Instagram does that, though. I think the other ones do.
This was TikTok, though.
TikTok, yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Instagram, TikTok. I don't
But Twitter and Facebook certainly do.
Well, she was Kamala-like. Russia is one of 3 producers, and it's actually their number 1 revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Then Putin started a fight with a smaller country that's in Europe. Here's my take on this. It's the admission of the third rail that they're so out of touch with not just the millennial generation of Americans, but even whatever I'm called now, an aging baby boomer.
Boomer.
Yeah, they're so out of touch with this.
How out of touch are they?
They're so out of touch with this that they have someone tell them, there's TikTok people out there, and Biden's going to say, what the hell is that? Just as I would.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is TikTok? And they explain it to them, and then they put together a little committee, and they go call these people and say, we want you to help us explain inflation and gas prices to Americans, because we don't know how.
I guarantee you, Biden, even right now, this moment, has still never heard of TikTok. I'm sure he had no idea any of this happened. This is something people in his mob take care of. That's how out of touch he is.
That I guess Zayler, the girl we just heard from,
Yep.
was one of 30 TikTok stars, and I'm amazed at the word star. I mean, she just had one where she's making a bed. Is that what it's come to?
That's basically what TikTok is.
She was one of 30 TikTok people to attend a March 10 Zoom meeting with White House officials and National Security Council staffers. This is according to the Washington Post. Gen Z for Change, an organization of influencers involved in the meeting, tweeted Friday that the discussion focused on the U.S. government's strategic goals in Ukraine so we're better able to debunk misinformation. As a coalition that reaches 500 million people, we are grateful that the White House chooses to work with us to keep people informed, the group said, Gen Z for Change. The Post also published a 51-minute recording of the call. Rob Flaherty, the White House Director of Digital Strategy, told the TikTokers in the recording that the meeting would be similar to a background call for reporters and that he saw their reach as a critically important avenue to the American public. She's 18. She's got 10 million followers. And she posted the video that answered the question, why is gas so expensive? We're doomed.
You know what?
It's not we're doomed. It's over. It's over.
I know what this is about. You're taking this personally.
Why?
Because this woman got a Zoom meeting with the White House, and you and Royce weren't allowed to go into the CIA. That's what this is really about.
You got me.
Why don't you two get out of here before you get arrested?
I'm here to relay information in a more digestible manner to my followers, she said. I would consider myself a White House correspondent for Gen Z.
That's the end
Much
of the world as we know it.
Much of the 18-year-old's other content involves dancing or posting in trendy outfits, and in her most recent video, she prank calls her dad by telling him she got accepted into Harvard.
Oh,
We don't know that.
The world is at a
Yeah, it's already there, Joe. We're not headed that way.
Teetering on the old
No.
cliff.
We're not teetering anymore. We're the coyote,
Yeah.
and we just hit the ground. That's where we are.
and we are turning to a young lady who is thought to have influence because she films herself making her bed to a bed of Drake music.
America.
Influencers are
And she carefully was reading whatever the White House gave her to read.
Correct.
Before you so rudely interrupted me, let me tell you what America is coming to realize, that influencers are puppets and liars, and will do whatever they have to do in order to get either free stuff or
a
money.
check. Yep.
Yeah, they have no moral standards.
Speaking of money, Ellie makes about 40 grand a year on TikTok at the age of 18.
I'm crestfallen. That's what I am. I'm crestfallen.
So what Kenny just basically said, you know what influencers are? They're rookie.
Now, Rookie's 10 times better than that chick.
No. Rookie's not an influencer. Rookie's a guy who's had a job and been paid.
That's true.
Like the rest of us.
Play her again.
To be entertainers.
That's true.
Play her again, please.
And
Then wait, what did the White House anticipate? That her 10 million followers would have just automatically seen this and heard this because they check in on what she's up to. Is that a way to say it?
It does have 70,000 likes
Okay.
and about 8,700 comments.
All right.
Why is gas so expensive, Joe?
All right.
Why is gas so expensive, and why is the United States inflation rate at a 4-time decade high? I had the opportunity to ask the White House why gas down the street is $7, and here's what they said. The obvious reason: we're getting out of a 2-year pandemic. When use goes up, price goes up. But the call was predominantly about Ukraine and Russia, so how does that relate? Russia is one of the top 3 producers of oil, and it is actually their #1 revenue source. Now, with Putin starting this horrific fight between Ukraine and Russia, nobody wants to work with him and do international trade. So, with people being scared of war and limited resources, prices are bound to go up as well. For the people who can't pay $7 for a gallon of gas, there's an app called Gas Buddy that shows you the cheapest gas near you, as well as a link in my bio to donate to the misplaced refugees of Ukraine.
Okay, it's not plausible. It would be one thing, and maybe I would have a different reaction if the White House enlisted this young woman and said, we want you to tell your followers about rising inflation and gas prices. Well, it's not plausible that she would have been able to do that.
Without a script.
Of course not.
Not plausible at all. So
No. Who just said without a script? Reavers? Yeah, that's the first thing that became apparent to me. This is like going to see your little nephew or niece at the Christmas pageant play. She's mechanically reading lines. She's not even a bad actor. She's worse.
It wasn't a script. If you listen to her, it was an actual press release. She read the press release from the White House. She said,
that's right.
I asked the White House.
Right. Yep.
I asked the White House, and here's what they
No,
said.
you didn't ask the White House. We don't even believe that.
And you guys
She
can't
read
see
the whole
it.
thing.
You guys can't see the video. I have it on my screen. Keep in mind that clip was 52 seconds long, and every time there was a pause, that meant there was an edit. So she basically spoke in 10 4-second
She
increments.
can't even do a 60 without breaking.
She's like Joe trying to tell you about signs.
I can get you a sign.
But you see what I mean? Even by reading the press release, she still had to edit.
And she had that
Each
monotone,
sentence.
I am reading a press release.
While my hands are moving.
Yes. Particularly if you're 18, you not only don't know what inflation is, you've never experienced it in your lifetime.
Right.
She had no idea what inflation is, and she's probably never put gas in a car. It's over. It's over. We're governed by Ding Dong School.
I don't think it's quite that.
It's over, John.
Ding Dong School.
Yeah. Our Miss Francis was the sea hag
Okay,
teacher on the
boomer.
thing. Yeah.